All right, good morning at 6 o'clock on this Wednesday, June 28th.
Coming up this morning on DC News Now, 2 people in the hospital right now after an explosion at a home in Maryland. Where the investigation stands right now.
The Montgomery County School Board standing by a controversial decision despite frustration and pushback from parents.
And DC courts stepping into the 21st century. What changes they have in store? Jackie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tanaya. Out there this morning, we do have that moderate air quality right now, but a code orange for later on today associated with Canadian wildfire smoke. What that means for you and your family coming up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, we're going to start you off with a live look outside on this Wednesday morning. Hazy start to our day here. The smoke is creeping into the area once again as the Canadian wildfires continue to burn. And if you can believe, they are still affecting us down here in D.C. All right, well, good morning. Thanks for starting your day with us. I'm Tanaya Wright.
And I'm Corey James alongside Shanika and Jackie. And Jackie, talking about that haze.
Yes.
We're in the orange, so not as bad as it was a few weeks ago.
Right. If you recall a few weeks ago, I know all of us can remember
Feeling it.
Yeah.
Yes, we felt it. That was code purple.
Yeah.
So it was very thick. Out there this morning, though, yes, you can notice that haze, but it's not nearly as thick as what we saw just a couple of weeks ago. Satellite and radar showing us the setup out there. We do have that cold front continue to push its way off towards our east. High pressure back out towards our west. But with that wind direction around that high pressure, that is really funneling a lot of that Canadian wildfire smoke into our area. But it's certainly much more thick back over towards the Midwest this morning. Satellite and radar zooming in, showing us that we do have a few of those light sprinkles that are dying the radar back out towards western Maryland, Garrett County. Aside from that, we should be dry out there today for the rest of the area. That air quality right now starting to pick up. It is moderate for much of the region, but back over towards right over towards western Maryland and parts of West Virginia, starting to notice that unhealthy category drifting its way in. So today it will be unhealthy for those sensitive groups. And speaking of those sensitive groups, just want to limit your time outside. Now, if you have to be outside, just notice some of those symptoms, which would be coughing or shortness of breath, and then head inside. Visibility out there is a little bit reduced in Frederick and DC and Hagerstown, associated with a bit of that haze. Temperatures right now 60s. We'll see those highs in the low to mid 80s later on today. Of all these details, looking towards the rest of that 7 day coming up. Shanika's here with another check of those roads. How's traffic?
All right, good morning. Things are looking pretty crowded out there along 95 heading northbound in northern Virginia. This is right near Prince William Parkway. So past this point, you will find a disabled vehicle to the right. So move over if you can. And let's flip over to the maps looking at the rest of your roadways. 66 east and west is looking all good and clear. You're good and green along 95, that portion. And then the Capitol Beltway, you're not seeing any major delays right now. You might see a tap on your brakes out of Silver Spring on the outer loop stretch. The lower part is looking good for now. DC 295 in the district and the Anacostia Freeway. Okay.
Thank you, Shanika. Your time right now is 6:02 on a Wednesday.
Let's take a look at your Know and Go headlines this morning. A former Laurel police chief will spend the rest of his life in prison for a series of arsons. David Crawford was sentenced for attempted first-degree murder and first-degree arson charges yesterday. Prosecutors say he lit multiple homes, cars, and garages on fire between 2011 and 2020.
A new Supreme Court ruling says state courts can be involved in deciding election-related cases. This week, the High Court is also expected to rule on President Biden's student loan forgiveness program and a case involving affirmative action in college admissions.
And this morning, WSSC Water is extending its program helping people pay off their delinquent bills. The current program will now go through the end of July. Water shutoffs for delinquent accounts in Montgomery and Prince George's counties begin next week.
Your time now is 6:03. 12 alleged members of the D.C. gang called the Kennedy Street Crew are facing several charges this morning. The Justice Department is charging them with conspiracy to commit drug trafficking, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and possession of a gun by a person convicted of a crime. Police say they also confiscated over 40 guns and drugs. This is after officials say the gang operated an open-air drug market in Northwest D.C. The interim police chief, Hassan Benedict, is responding to these charges, saying in part, quote, "Today's operation is evidence that intelligence-led policing and effective criminal justice partnerships can lead to positive outcomes in the District of Columbia." Well, 2 people in the hospital this morning after an explosion at a home in Darnestown, Maryland last night.
Yeah, fire officials believe fireworks went off in a garage there. This is a look at the home. Take a look at these images. You can see the damage to the garage, the cars, and the windows. Now, it all happened around 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon near Cervantes Avenue and Seneca Road. It is unclear exactly what explosive went off. First responders say the home, though, is unsafe to live in.
At this point, our fire and explosives unit, the bomb squad essentially, is here. They're positioning themselves to take a further look. We've cordoned off the area and make sure that it's safe for the residents. We're dealing with getting some pets out. All the occupants of the house are out.
The fire chief is reminding people this morning that fireworks are illegal in Maryland. He strongly encourages people to go to public displays instead. A former Prince George's County police chief will spend the rest of his life in prison.
David Crawford was sentenced to multiple life sentences after he was found guilty of 8 counts of attempted murder. Prosecutors say Crawford set fire to several homes in the middle of the night. Our Lex Horse is live in Laurel this morning. So Lex, this conviction is only for some of the fires he's accused of setting.
Yeah, that's right. Now, there are a total of 12 fires at the center of this investigation. And yesterday's conviction for 2 fires that were set in 2017 in Howard County. Now, keep in mind, David Crawford served Prince George's County for over 20 years, working in the police department. Before that, he was with Baltimore City Police. Investigators caught him on camera setting some of the fires. They said he had the same MO each time: a hoodie with drawstrings tied tight, trying to hide his face, visiting the homes in the wee hour of the morning, dousing the homes and cars in gasoline, and then setting the fires with sticks that were wrapped in fuel-soaked clothing. He's connected to fires in 6 Maryland counties, and those fires happened from 2011 to 2020. Investigators were finally able to connect all of the victims after one of the fires in 2020, which led to this big break in the case. A final piece of evidence: a target list that was found inside of Crawford's home just 2 months before he was arrested in 2021. And now all of the victims did know Crawford. They were people who prosecutors say he held a grudge against. In the cases of all of these fires, the victims and their families were inside of their homes sleeping when the fires were set. This 71-year-old man will now spend the rest of his life in prison. Live in Laurel, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, Lex, thank you. Time right now is 6:06. A new Supreme Court ruling dictates who has power over elections in the U.S. Now, that ruling maintains the status quo, allowing state courts to have a hand in deciding election-related cases. In a 6-3 decision yesterday, the Supreme Court rejected an argument from North Carolina Republicans. The group wanted sole power to make decisions in federal elections. Local law professors say this ruling allows state courts to continue weighing in.
Nationally, it means that state courts can check partisan gerrymandering.
One thing you don't want is to give politicians the ability to set the rules for elections without any kind of judicial review.
And right now, we're watching for rulings on a few more major cases. One includes a decision on affirmative action in college admissions. Many are also waiting to see a challenge to President Biden's student loan forgiveness program that would forgive up to $20,000 of student loan debt.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin is facing a lawsuit over voting rights for convicted felons. Felons in Virginia are automatically disqualified from voting unless the governor restores those rights. The suit alleges the Commonwealth is violating a Reconstruction-era federal law denying them the right to vote. All right, well, there are some changes in the D.C. court system since the pandemic. Those include new technology, as well as the different ways you can show up for certain cases.
And it's all part of the D.C. Courts Reimagining Courts campaign. Now, judges at D.C. Superior Court, they can decide if they want jury trials or other types of hearings to be in person or online.
Meantime, the D.C. Court of Appeal says it is opening a hybrid program for oral arguments.
Under the pilot program, parties may request to appear remotely. The court may also conduct the entire proceeding remotely if needed.
And D.C. Courts also offers what it calls remote hearing sites with secure internet and computers for residents to use across the district. Those sites are open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. All right, time right now is 6:08. Montgomery County Schools says it has no plan to bring back its sexual education opt-out policy.
Hundreds of parents and members of religious groups protested the school board's meeting last night. A federal lawsuit against MCPS was filed by 3 families last month to be able to opt their children out of reading LGBTQ+ themed books. Some parents say putting these books in school curriculum go against their religious beliefs. Meantime, supporters of the curriculum say school lessons should be inclusive to everyone.
We're asking that our children not be strong-armed at such a young age into believing certain ideas about gender and sexuality.
Our kids live in this beautiful, diverse, multicultural community, and the storybooks that they read in their English language curriculum should reflect that.
MCPS says students and families may only opt out of family life and human sexuality lessons, which is permitted by Maryland law. All right, well, Meta is adding some new parental supervision tools and privacy features to Facebook and Instagram.
You know, on Facebook, the new tools will allow parents to do several things to keep tabs on their kids. Now, parents will be able to check out how much their kids spend on Messenger. They'll be able to see updates on their contact list and view who can message them. Meanwhile, on Instagram, they can see how many friends their kids have and who also follows them and who they're followed by. A clinical psychologist, Dr. Jeffrey Garter, feels the new parental controls are a healthy move.
These parental controls being put into place is a very positive thing for children, since there have been concerns, especially around teens being on social media for an inordinate amount of time, and certainly now parents being more involved. I think this will be a healthier situation for both the teens and for the parents.
And to help teens better manage time, Meta is introducing a take a break feature. After 20 minutes on the app, teens will receive a message telling them to step away from the app and set daily time limits.